Hello, Create and Code community. This is Freddie Michaels, and today we're going to be going over the ins and outs of agricultural drones. First, we'll start off with a brief outline of what we're going to be talking about today. So, first off, we're going to talk about just the basics of what a drone is, the parts of it, a few different types of drones. And then we'll continue on to the benefits, talking about both the agricultural and the financial benefits there. Then we'll move on to drawbacks. Again, you'll notice financial is in both benefits and drawbacks. There are both. And then we'll talk about some of the FAA regulations that are causing a little bit of friction about getting this technology into the market. And then we'll talk about what you can do after once you have this information, what you can do next. And then over on the side, you see we have a quote there that says, UAV technology is not just for mechanical and aerospace engineers. It involves crop science, and it's being embraced by big data and analytics. So this helps illustrate that just because it's a drone and it's an airplane or it's a helicopter, it's not just aerospace or mechanical engineers working on this. It's the crop scientists, it's the farmers, it's the software engineers, it's the electrical engineers, everybody, all majors, all industries are going to be helping and can benefit from this technology. So a few basics of drones. First, you'll see on the left we have a few just conventional fixed wing plane style drones. The one on the top is made by a company that's actually based in Raleigh. And their concept is to give you interchangeable cameras that are easy to plug in, and those go in the main body, as does all the software and stuff that helps fly. Most drones that are going to be used in the agricultural market are flown through autopilot, although some of the more basic ones are actually RC, where you have to have someone pilot them. And then that other fixed wing you'll see is just a little bit more radical design. It's just more of a flying wing style instead of the more conventional wing and tail configuration as the one above. And then the other main category are helicopters and multi-rotor helicopters, to be more specific. That first picture right here, you can see it's just kind of your conventional helicopter, but there's of course no pilot because it's a drone. The next one under it is probably the most common one that you've probably seen and heard about when people talk about drones, and that's the quadcopter design. These come in all shapes and sizes, and the one shown here is a very basic model that can be purchased for about $400. And it's really like an entry-level startup drone. That's this one right here. And it's really safe, really easy to use if you're just getting into this. And then this other example over here is just to illustrate how multi-rotor these can be. You'll see that one has, it looks like 8 different rotors on there, and this is actually a technology that Amazon is using to transport packages locally very quickly. So you don't have to go through and spend a lot of money on shipping and stuff. You can just say you want drone prime air, you can see there maybe. They'll just ship it to you through the air and it'll arrive in 45 minutes or less. Okay. So moving on to the benefits of agricultural drones. So we kind of have a tiered system here where drones allow for rapid overview of your fields or crops, whatever area you need to observe. So the farmers can quickly view their crops to look for any diseases or problem areas that need to be taken care of that you might not be able to see from the ground, or it might take a much longer amount of time by driving through and looking. Whereas you can just fly a drone over a few acres of field in no time at all and see what problems there are. So that leads us on to our next one, where we can actually target specific problem areas. So if you're flying over in a drone, you can actually see if there's a few like square foot area of your crops, or maybe like half an acre, that isn't doing so well that you wouldn't be able to see and you're just going to have to spray the whole field for fertilizer or insecticide instead of just that one target area. So this helps eliminate and minimize all chemical waste, which you'll see in the next bullet, leads to cost reduction. So less waste equals less money spent. So more in your pocket. So now on more benefits here. This is more on the agricultural side of the benefits. As we said, from the air, it's easier to see diseases, soil variations, irrigation problems that might be arising in your fields, and so on. The list is endless. Then we have there's many different types of cameras that actually come with these drones. Just your basic camera, 1080p or 720, just that you find on your cell phone, that same type of camera, or a GoPro, just to view the area and see what's going on, all the way up to things that allow you to map the terrain and get different elevations, to infrared, to anything, you name it. There's a camera port that can probably be plugged in with most of these drones. And then lastly, it's a drone, so you don't have to worry about someone sitting out there for a week or a day or even every hour. These drones can just run on autopilot and scan your field and see what's going on. And that can actually allow you to put together a sort of time lapse and see how things are evolving over a crop season that can be used in the future or even that year to analyze how things are going and how you need to adjust your crop management through the year. Okay, and then on to the economic impact. Since there are both pros and cons, we're going to combine this into one topic. You can see on the pro side we have a quote here that comes from Precision Hawk, which was actually one of those first fixed wing craft that we saw, which just says, "We found it's going to make farmers money by increasing yield and profit margins. In the long run, many farmers are willing to make capital purchases. If they're already engaged in precision agricultural, they can make their return investment back very quickly." So here he's talking about some of these drones can be very expensive, upwards of $15,000 to $25,000 for all the included software and drone itself. So, but this money is made back quickly in terms of where it might be spent elsewhere if you wanted to do satellite imagery or get an actual pilot to fly over in a conventional aircraft. That's going to run you about $1,000 an hour. It could. And then, as you can see in this next bullet on the pro side, you can get drones for under $1,000. That'll do just maybe not quite as much as a $15,000 to $25,000 one, but it'll get the job done for smaller operations. And then we already talked about they can be expensive, and the more advanced ones do take a good chunk of time to learn how to actually fly and program these flight plans in, although most programs do, or most companies do provide some lessons. And then you also need to have the ability to analyze very large data sets, because if these things are flying around for 45 minutes collecting a data point every second or minute, that's going to be it's going to add up to a lot of data. You want to be able to analyze that. So next, FAA regulations, which is where we're going to run into a lot of trouble these days. Currently, their drones are not allowed for commercial purposes. And so hopefully in the next few years, hopefully by 2017, as you see, the commercial aspect of this business will be integrated. So hopefully by the end of this year, they'll have passed a regulation that allows 55-pound aircraft to fly under 400 feet. That's in the works right now, but as some sources say, it may not be until 2016 until these actually take effect. But the positive here is once the FAA rules, as you can see from that quote, there will be hundreds of thousands of jobs created with an economic impact of over $82 billion. That's definitely going to hopefully motivate them to move this along. So what next? You can become a member of AUVSI, which is Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International. a group who provides support and just contact information. It's just a strong community of people that are in the unmanned vehicle system drone realm. Also, dronelife.com is a good, just more blog style, not as formal website, free website that'll give you good, concise info on each of these drones, where to buy them, pros and cons of each one, just in a consolidated format. Also, just keep up with the news updates from the FAA and any other further advancements in drone technology. And like we said before, this is not just for farmers. It has many different applications throughout industry, through different industries. So make sure to stay updated. This is an awesome economic industry. Here's a few references of where we got our information. Thanks.